Well, I just got off the treadmill.
Melissa Martinez here from the Pulaski County Health Department again, and it is Friday. So you know what that means. It means we're talking everything fitness. So today I have the blessing of talking to Laura Morietta, who's not only a friend of mine, but she is an inspiration to a lot of the other mothers here in our area because she has finally, well, I guess she's found the secret to be able to continue exercising, which is resilience, because you have to change it up every day, right? Depending on the kids. So
Yep,
Laura,
and I don't work.
and you don't work. So would you please introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about your fitness journey, about where it started and how it's changed throughout the kids and everything?
Okay, well, I am 34. I have 3 kids, 5 and under, 5, 3, and 1.5. So I am very busy. 2 of my kids are in school. One's part day, one's full day. And before having my son, I used to be able to run, and Melissa used to be able to call me and say, oh, there's a half marathon next week, you want to go? Okay, yeah, let me go get 1 10-mile run in and I'm ready. Not so much anymore. I've taken, let's say, 6 years off.
So you recently, and I love that you say that, so you recently basically just started from scratch again, right?
Yeah, because I was basically considered high risk with my children because I suffered many miscarriages and pregnancy losses before Joaquin and 1 before Jocelyn, my middle. So when you do that, you're afraid to do anything. You're afraid to sneeze.
Yeah.
To be honest, so I was happy being, what'd you call me for the longest time? Your jockstrap. So
that means my athletic supporter. She would go to races. Let's get that straightened out here. So she would go with me to races and she would actually support me. She'd be my support system. She would be there at the finish line or bring me food in between. Or okay, now that we got that straight. Okay, Laura, go ahead.
So that's where I was, and now I'm at a point where I am tired and I am done with starting over. So I am just trying to stay consistent in one way, shape, or form, and trying not to let more than 2 or 3 days go before in between workouts.
Do you remember the exact day or time that you decided that you said, okay, that's it, I'm done, I'm going to change?
Last year I was diagnosed with postpartum depression, and I knew I needed something. I didn't want to be on medication forever. And it hit pretty hard when it hit. And,
yeah.
and that's just,
go ahead, Laura. I'm sorry.
I said, you gained yes, I gained a lot of weight, which for some reason my body is holding onto it like a life preserver. Like I can't seem to get rid of it. But that plays into it. I have 3 kids and really close in age. They're 2 years apart, which also plays. So I kind of felt like I lost myself. And so it's just about being back and finding myself again.
Did you find too that, and you and I talked about, being transparent. Did some of it play into the fact that, for so many years you weren't able to have children? And then when you were and you felt that depression, you kind of didn't understand why, how you could feel that depression when basically your prayers had been answered. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And, you feel guilty. You're like, why am I feeling like this? It wasn't never not wanting my kids. It was just, I wasn't happy for a while. And it took a really close friend of mine to sit there and say, hey, are you okay? Because there's dark in your eyes. There's no more light. Are you okay? And that's when I sat back and I had to ask the hard questions. I had to ask my husband, do you think it's postpartum depression or anything like that? And then call my doctor. And they take it serious. She got me in like the very next day. Like they take it very seriously. So it wasn't, your hormones. No, it was very serious taken.
Now you went on medicine for a while too. I mean, you actually had to be on medication. Okay.
Yep.
And that's great. That is just wonderful. But then there came a point where you knew that you were over that hump and could treat it with exercise, right?
Yeah, it was.
Is that what you said?
Basically finding myself again. And yes, I needed some help. I had no patience with my kids. I would get angry like very easy. And I knew what I needed because before children, I could go for a run and my mood would be switched real quick.
So I knew movement as medicine. We've talked about that before.
So I definitely needed that. to find my way back. But it's so hard as a mom of 3 and a stay-at-home mom. My husband works very hard outside the home. So it's very hard to find time to go out and run when you have 3 kids at home, or to go out and do something, because prepping 3 small kids to go to a gym is like prepping for a minor surgery. Okay.
That's
you
hilarious.
gotta have all your ducks in order. You've got to have activities to keep them busy. You've got to have snacks. You might as well just carry a fridge. I mean, it's just like, it's impossible. It feels impossible. And then even though you have all that, it does not guarantee they will sit occupied just so you can get 30 minutes done.
So what have you found? I know you have a lot. Give us some tips and some of the things that you found that you can do at home to not even have to go out.
Workout videos. Don't be ashamed. They're not Richard Simmons anymore. Like, get some workout videos to do those at home. I know a friend of mine, she uses YouTube videos all the time. Pinterest has all kind of little workouts you can do as well. For me, the best option for our family was we invested in a good treadmill.
Which let's talk about that, because treadmills can be extremely pricey. So anyone out there listening to this that says, I'd love to get a treadmill, but I cannot afford one, Marketplace is an absolutely amazing place. I actually bought my treadmill off Marketplace because you can get them used with, I mean, for like 1/10 of the cost of a new treadmill. And it's definitely worth the, and you don't even have to get a treadmill. You can look at a bike, you can look at an elliptical, anything that's going to get you active. And Laura, so when you first started, how many minutes a day did you aim for, or did you have a set thing in mind?
I'm just trying to get down to at least 30 minutes or 2 miles, just something to start. And my husband knows. I'll be like, babe, I need to go get on the treadmill. He'll be like, yeah, just go. And so now it's just, my kids are getting a little bit older. I can distract them a little bit longer. Maybe I know that the baby, she'll like sit like a zombie for 30 minutes of the beginning of Trolls. And so I'm like, okay, I better make it work. Like, let's go. And you can't waste a second.
Oh, I love what you said about, you're exactly right. Don't waste a second. If you have to get up and get your workout clothes and keep your workout clothes on, so when you have that few minutes,
you're not wasting time getting dressed. Because when babies go down, you have maybe 10 minutes for a cat nap, or maybe they're down for the long haul for an hour or two, and you just don't know. So I get up in the morning, and I go turn on my treadmill, make sure it's up and ready, and I'm dressed until I get time to get workout in.
Hey, let's talk about some other things that moms can do, and the precious moments that they have between naps and feedings and all that. And I know some of the things that I did, if you had 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, core workouts, simple as getting on the floor, doing some planks.
Use your children. There's been many times where I couldn't put one of my kids down. They're clinging, maybe they're teething, or they're not feeling good. I have a Lily baby, which is a baby carrier, and I wear them as a backpack.
So then you would do like squats,
or at that point, maybe going out and taking a walk with them on your back or your chest, and that soothes them too. And they go to sleep, and then they're sleeping. You can walk longer, and then it acts like a weighted vest.
And then you don't have to feel guilty about leaving your kids either, because you're taking them with you. Because a lot of moms will say, a lot of working moms might think, gosh, I spend so much time at work that when I get home, I don't want to be away from my kids. So making that part of your routine with your kids.
That's the problem. It's the mom guilt, because we all have it. Even a stay-at-home mom, I feel guilty trying to just get away from my kids a little bit just so I can do some self-love. It's just mom guilt.
Let's talk about that though. Is that beneficial to you or your kids when you don't take that time to
it's harmful for both of us, because I have no patience.
So explain how exercise to people that have never exercised, because there's people watching this that may never have done anything. Explain how exercise works for you mentally and physically.
It's a stress relief for me when I exercise, and I don't have to pay attention to my kids because they're napping or daddy's home. I can listen to praise and worship music. So that's also like, people have their Bible time too and all that time, but that's how I'm able to get in close with God, because there's been times I have laughed, I have cried, and that's good for my spiritual too.
Go ahead.
And it's just knowing that if I'm taking care of myself, it puts me in a better mood.
Well, science has proven that, physical activity definitely, I mean, you've got endorphins. There's all kinds of chemical reactions in the body that, it's been shown to be a stress reducer, a mood uh, improver. I mean, there's just all kinds of, look at that.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of science that backs it up, that exercise is good for us in so many
Hmm.
ways.
And I
So
think
Laura,
especially now because everything is so shut down or we can't get out,
mhm.
it's even more important to sit there and find something we can do to stay active and not um, hide in our houses.
Tell us some of the other ways that you're active with your kids, Laura. What are some other tips that you can give us?
Um, don't underestimate a game of tag with your
Uh,
children because they are fast.
that's very true.
Don't underestimate that game of tag or just playing with them. I mean, they can get your heart rate up.
That's
You got
very
a
true.
trampoline, get out on the trampoline with your kids and you're building memories at the same time as getting your heart rate up and exercising. And then
You
you
know
may
what?
cry later because you're hurting so bad, but you'll be all right.
Well, I got to tell you the story. I had a friend of mine one time, and she was playing tag with her friend, with her kids. And people, you really got to be careful. Check out your yard first. She stepped in a hole and twisted her ankle, was in a cast for weeks.
Oh no.
But anyway, all joking aside, because as parents, that's inevitably we hurt ourselves when we start to act like
Yep.
children. But um, for those of you watching, you don't have to get in a full 30 minutes at a time.
No.
5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 10 minutes here. It all adds up at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. And putting the baby in a walk, maybe a baby that's not wanting to nap at the time or whatever, put them in a stroller, or if you have a carrier, put them on it. And if you go walk, they'll fall asleep. The motion will put them to sleep, and then you can walk a little bit longer. Or then maybe just walk them home and prop them in the house in their stroller, which I've done that before.
Yeah. Well,
Just to
you
get
got to,
just do what you got to do.
yeah, find ways to be creative. I remember when my kids were little, of course, they're 22 and 15 now, but I'd put them in a pack and play beside the treadmill. And then I was able to run on the treadmill and still keep it on the kids. So it's all about taking, everybody's different. Everybody's
Hmm.
situation is different. Not everyone has a support system. So it's just kind of looking around and saying, hey, what can I do with what I've got?
Yeah, and maybe find a girlfriend that needs help with her kids too, or somebody that has an older child at home that you can trust to sit with the little ones, or even have one that can hang out in a playroom or something with the little ones, so the adults
Mhm.
can get a quick workout in, or swap babysitting.
Yeah, that's amazing. I remember doing that as a young mom as well. So, gosh, Laura, that's what other tips? Do you have any other tips for us, that some things that you've done?
Um, just trying to get it in when I can, and using my kids as weights, or just really just having to get creative. That's all it comes down to. It's just having to get creative.
Hey, let's talk about this too. Okay, so we've touched on the need for physical fitness. That's just a given.
Hmm.
Now we need to hit on something else, because a lot of the moms or people that are watching this are also wanting to get active because they want to lose weight. And at the end of the day, no activity, we know this because I personally have gained weight training for a marathon. I mean, you can't outrun a bad diet. So these
I'm
things
the
need to
wrong
be,
person to talk to because
well,
I like my
only be,
Oreos.
well, this is the reason I'm talking to you about, is because I remember us talking one time, and we want to throw this out there, is that if you're looking to make some small changes in your diet for weight loss, I think one of the biggest mistakes that we make as moms is finishing off our kids' plates. Little
Oh
bits of
yeah.
macaroni and cheese here, little Cheetos, and by
Yep.
the end of the day, we've added 600 or 700 basically mindless calories.
Oh yeah. Yep. Finishing off their juice boxes. Oh, if there's only a bite left of their ice cream, I'll eat that too. It's not a big deal. It's just making those changes and adjusting to a new lifestyle. Because I am not one to diet. I do not like the word. The first three letters spell die, anyways, in diet. So, like, let's get real here. I want to live life, and I don't want my kids to see me on a diet. So it's just about trying to figure things out in moderation. Um,
Okay.
I don't want to live. I don't want to be at a birthday party and my kid's like, "Mommy, you don't want no cake?" Well, no, mommy's on a diet. I can't have cake. No, I'll have cake. I'm not going to feel guilty about it. We'll just adjust something tomorrow then. I just
Yeah.
got to enjoy life with my kids too.
So there you just hit on it. It's two things. It's moderation and it's mindfulness.
Mm-hmm.
So moderation is doing, trying to keep it moderate. If we go in excess one day, the next day it's kind of like saying, hey, yesterday I went crazy and ate that whole bag of Doritos or that, the whole 25 Oreos. So today I'm going to switch to carrot sticks probably for the next 2 or 3 days.
That's true.
Right?
But in this generation, there's so much body hate and body shaming, especially for our young girls. I have 2 girls, and I don't want them to be afraid to eat something because they're afraid that it's going to go to their hips or their butt. And so it's just teaching them to still love their bodies, but to be mindful of what they're feeding their bodies at the same time in a good way. But you can have it because there's a lot of body hate, and even for our boys.
No, that's true. That's true. But at the end of the day, we still have to realize that what we put in is what we're going to get out of our bodies. I mean, moderation's key, and the mindfulness on making healthy choices.
Yep.
Yeah. And now you've lost quite a bit of weight since you started back to this, right?
Nope. I'm holding on to every pound. I feel good.
Right.
I feel great, which I'm not looking to be skinny anymore. Yes, in the end, I do have a goal weight, but that's not my only goal. And I'm not going to stress on it.
No, being skinny doesn't mean that you're healthy. I mean, that's no indication of health. So you just want to be at a weight that's that's comfortable.
Yes, I want to get down, great, but I have other things that I want to achieve. Like I want to be able to keep up with my kids. I will probably still feel winded because they are fast, but I don't want to feel as winded, or I don't want to be like, oh no, I don't want to run next to you while you're riding your bike. Mommy's too tired to do that. I want to get down and play. So
I agree. Go ahead.
Right now I'm coaching my son's basketball team, and I just signed up to be his soccer coach, and I wouldn't be able to do that if I wasn't healthy, or do it to a level of success.
Right.
To be actually get in there and actually play and not just be a parrot on the couch.
Right. So basically what you're saying, and what I found in my own life too, is that the more fit you are, the more fun you can have with your family.
You're a more fun parent.
Agreed.
You don't have to worry about if the trampoline can hold your weight, because you can just get on there.
Right. Hey, let's talk about something too. You've got I know you've got 2 things, and I want to hit on this before we end. You've got one huge goal that I know is kind of far from the future, but you've started something today or yesterday.
Yesterday.
February 1st. Well, that is February 1st. So it's been a couple days that you're going to do the whole month of February to kind of jumpstart that. Can you tell us about it?
So I have started, right now I average about between 50 to 60 miles a month. And so I decided to, why not, and just jump on the bandwagon and join the Team RWB and their Taji 100. Trying to get 100 miles in the month of February. Why is it the shortest month? I don't know, but it is. So I'm really going to have to get creative and push myself to get it done.
But the 100, now we need to make it clear with anyone who wants to join it. It's taji100.com, TAJI100.com, and it's free. You can do that walking, running, or elliptical, anything on your feet. I
hope crawling too, because
they didn't rule that out.
Because by the end of this last miles, maybe crawling.
Well, I think we talked about this. That's about a 5K a day. That's about
3.5.
And so honestly, if people, an average person, if you even at a slow walk to do a 5K, you're going to be doing about a 22 minute mile. So if people can get in about an hour and a half of exercise a day, they'd be hitting it, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and it's just anything. I mean, we saw Stephanie's video. Anything counts. I mean, so just because you don't get 100, you can't count that as failure. If you've got up and moved, or if you've done better than last month, all of last year, I was just trying to get at least half a mile more than that month that I did the month prior, and I was pretty successful because I wasn't putting too much pressure on myself. And that's another thing. We have to be gracious with ourselves and just get it done, and decide no excuses. We're just gonna pick up and stop starting over.
So the video she's referring to, guys, is Stephanie Valdivia, one of the directors from Team RWB, and she said that she had done the Taji 100 last year, and I think she got in 73 miles. So basically, what she was saying is to anyone wanting to start this, you do not have to do the 100. You don't even have to go in with that mind frame. You can go in with like, hey, I've never done anything, and I'm going to shoot for 5 miles a week, and I'm going to shoot for 20 miles for the month.
Yep. It's starting, and those little goals add up, and we get so discouraged sometimes if we're not technically on track for a bigger goal, but those little ones add to the bigger picture.
Absolutely. So you're saying, if let's say that your goal is to get fit, that's so broad that if you can break it down into smaller goals, like maybe weekly or monthly goals, your success chances are better.
Yeah, I have my sister-in-law who she is very saying, "Oh, Lori, you're going to kill me, or you can't, I can't do this." I'm like, "Well, stop saying that, and just focus on maybe 3 times a week first, and when that becomes easy, start adding another day and give yourself grace." And for me, like, I'm not worried about the scale goal anymore. I'm looking for the non-scale victories. Maybe
Ooh, I like that.
Doing other things. Maybe, I didn't get as winded this time chasing Joaquin on his bike, or I actually got extra miles in this week. I plan on doing the half marathon in October, the Frog Hill, and then I plan on coming back in January and hitting a full marathon that's in our hometown of Arizona. So those are, and all these little goals, and during these little times, it will hopefully help me to my weight goal. But if not, I'll be a way better fit, and heart healthy than I would be not active.
Wow. All right, guys. So you have it. I love that. We're going to end it with that, because we're going to talk about that just a little bit more, about non-scale victories and small victories. Those are the ones, if you can shoot
celebrate
for those.
them.
That's awesome, Laura. Well, I love that. So, guys, if you're interested or you want some more information, you can contact me at the health department, 573-736-2217. Hey, Laura, can we come back and talk to you after that half marathon and just kind of check your progress, or periodically, to see how you're doing?
Yeah, just let me know. Yep. You may have a special guest, but yeah.
So are you saying you're having more children?
No. We're done. We're done. Like I said, I'm done. I'm tired of starting over. So, because before it was like every time I would start trying to figure out exercise again, I got pregnant again. We're done this time. No, we're done.
Okay.
It's my year. I'm saying no.
Hey, Laura. So, let's thank you so much for joining me today. Can you just end this and just give them, if there's one thing that you can say to that mother out there that's saying, gosh, I really want to do this, but I just don't know.
Just do it. Don't be, you're your own self-critic. Just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it.
I love that. Laura,
if we overthink it, it's not going to happen. So just do it.
Wow. That's true. Non-scale victories and small victories.
Yep.
All right. Laura, thank you so much. Happy Friday, everybody.
Bye.